People down the ages have turned to poetry in order to try and capture something of the wonder, depth, and pain of life. But perhaps the topic that's been most explored by artists and poets has been love. From Shakespeare to Tina Turner, from John Mayer to a teenage Lara, artists have turned their hand to exploring this question: what is love? And in the first few verses of this famous passage, Paul the writer has been trying to convey the unsurpassed value and importance of love. But we find ourselves at this point asking, well, what is meant by love? We want to know more. We want it to be fleshed out a bit. And he doesn't disappoint us. He furnishes us with 15 different attributes of love. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It does not boast. It's not proud. It's not rude. It does not seek what is for itself. I wanted to stop there. We know that Paul used an ancient Hebrew rhetorical style of writing, which is sometimes called ring composition. And in this style, the reader is encouraged to see the apex of the argument in the central line of the piece. And here, that central line is this: love does not seek what is for itself. This then is the summary of the other 14 that we're given. Love is not self-seeking. I was reading through various commentaries on this passage, and there was a passing remark by one commentator that really grabbed my attention. It simply said, when Paul comes to the point of defining love, it's as if a person walks onto the pages. I stopped when I read that. It's so profound. Personification is a well-known literary device, but it struck me that it makes total sense to personify love. An abstract concept can't be patient. An abstract concept can't be kind. An abstract concept can't not envy. Only a person can be patient. Only a person can be kind. For me, a Christian philosophical approach which grounds love in a personal God is more compelling rationally than that of Platonic philosophy. If love is simply an abstract concept, how can we know anything about what it actually means? But if love is a person who communicates with us, eventually in the ultimate way by becoming incarnational and living among us, then love has content. Not only does Christianity propose to identify love with a personal being who can causally interact with us, but a tri-personal being, which helps us to make sense of how agape, self-giving love, has existed from eternity past. Earlier I said that by this point in the passage, we really want Paul to flesh out for us what love really means. When I was writing this, it occurred to me that in coming to earth, God literally fleshed out for us what love is. When Jesus spent time with the outcasts of society, telling parables like that of the prodigal son, we saw what God's love is like. When he hung, dying on a cross, asking his Father to forgive his executors, we saw what God's love is like. And when he rose from the grave, proving that love is stronger than death, we saw what God's love is like. Love walked onto the pages of history so that we would know what love is. And God's love doesn't seek what's for himself. He reached out to us in love, even to his enemies. The Bible says he died because he loved us, so that anyone, even the enemies of God, even the worst offenders, can come close if they want to, be forgiven and be welcomed in. Another famous poet who personified love was George Herbert. His poem, inspired by the words of Revelation, starts, "Love bade me welcome, but my soul drew back." The poem ends, though, with love inviting him to sit and eat with him. Next to me is another famous artwork. This is a picture of Holman Hunt's famous painting, Light of the World, which can be seen hanging in the chapel of Keble College here in Oxford. It shows Jesus standing outside the door of someone's house, offering to come inside. Both Herbert's poem and Hunt's painting depict the Jesus who leans towards each one of us, who always seeks what's for our good, who certainly won't push his way in, but who offers his love to each of us. Both of these works were inspired by the words of Revelation chapter 3 verse 20, and I'd like to just end by reading those words. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with him, and he with me.